And that's the end of the first half. As the teams head to the locker room, the Spartans lead the Bulldogs by a score.
You guys stink.
Geez, Coach, we're only down a couple of points.
No, I mean you guys really smell. You need to hit the showers. And here, I got every one of you new bars of soap from the Sterling Soap Company. Each bar is artisan crafted using natural ingredients and essential oils. They also have shave soaps, colognes, beard balm, and a whole lot more. Now get in there.
But Coach, we have another half to play.
I don't care. I can't stand to be around you.
A few minutes later.
All right, bring it in tight. You guys are still playing terrible, but you're smelling great out there. Now listen, you're going to need to stock up for the rest of the season. We got a lot of tough games left. So go to sterlingsoap.com after the game. That's STIRLING soap.com. You got that?
Yes, Coach.
Great. Sterlingsoap.com on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sterlingsoap.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today, I'm joined once again by my friend Dave DiPaolo, and we'll continue our discussion on boxer Ken Norton and his 3 fights with Muhammad Ali. Talking about it, the buildings are burning.
Just, you know,
yeah,
I don't remember that in '76. Time. I don't remember for some reason.
A lot of crime going on there, particularly in the Bronx. You know, the Bronx was burning, as they say. The Bronx is burning, they would say.
Oh, wait, now I do remember it now. They actually made a movie about it a little later on.
That's
Paul
right.
Newman, Fort Apache, the Bronx.
Yep.
I remember. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot about that.
So, I guess we could get to the fight now. Again,
Yeah,
it
go
was a
ahead,
good
Mark.
fight. I didn't think it was quite as good as the second fight, but definitely a good fight. And this was 15 rounds. The other 2 were non-title at that time.
Yeah.
Now they've reduced it. At that time, a non-title was 12 rounds, and a title fight was 15 rounds. As you mentioned, Ali had won the title
Yes.
back from Foreman, so this was a 15 round. And I'm not sure what the weather was, but it seemed to be. They really didn't mention the weather. It was the end of September, so I guess it was pretty good weather. You know, not too hot and not too cold. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was the end of the month. You're right. Could have been a chilly night, but no, people weren't dressed.
I
It
think
didn't look like
was
they
pretty
even mentioned it. You're
typical,
right.
You know, early fall weather. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. So the weather didn't really play a factor in the fight. But 15 rounder, you know, both fighters had to be in great shape. You had to be in great shape to go 15 rounds. And again, the judges, you kind of have to wonder what fight were they watching, because this time it wasn't even a split decision. They gave a unanimous decision to Ali.
What do you remember the judging,
I
Mark?
know
Do you have it written
close.
down there?
It was
what
very
it was?
close. I think there was only one. I don't remember if they were using the point system. They might have been using the point system, but they were all extremely close, all 3 judges, but they all gave it to Ali. And a lot of people thought that Norton got robbed in that fight.
Listen, of the 3 fight, I shouldn't say of the 3, but I didn't even Mark,
No.
I didn't even have it that close, that fight. I didn't. I thought I had an 8-4-3. I had Norton winning 8 rounds in that fight.
I think I might have had it a little closer. I think I scored it 8-6-1. 8-6-1 for Norton.
Yep. So I got the scoring in front of me. The referee, who was the same guy that I think did the Ali Frazier fight. He was the same referee, Arthur Mercanti. And he had it scored the same as this other judge, Barney Smith, 8-7 Ali. You're right, it was close. And there was another guy, Harold Lederman, who had it scored at 8-6. It said that most ringside observers favored Norton, who landed more punch. They did a compu box. Right. You know, they do that in the more recent fights. And they said he landed a higher percentage of punches, Norton, and Ali threw more punches but landed less. And nobody really was in trouble in the fight. Nobody really got to the point where the other fighter was in trouble or could have put him out, could have knocked his lights out. But I don't know. I don't know what they were looking at.
When we've done boxing podcasts in the past, you have mentioned this. When the one guy is the champion, especially when it was Ali, because he had that mystique, if you didn't knock him down, it was going to be very difficult to get a decision. Yep. You mentioned that.
You're right. You're right. I just think he outboxed him. I think that, listen, and Norton purposely took the last round. He made it a point to say, I'm not going to let him steal it again. Okay?
And you could see how visibly upset Norton was about the decision. And the second fight, he didn't really seem, he didn't seem that upset about the decision. The third fight, he was visibly upset. And he said years later, he said he never felt like, he never had the same enthusiasm for boxing after that third loss to Ali, because he felt like he got robbed.
Yeah. Listen, from rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6, I had Norton taking all 4 of those rounds. Okay, he was clearly the aggressor. He clearly outboxed him all 4 of those rounds. And I also had him taking the last, I had him taking 2. I had him taking rounds 14 and 15. Ali came back. I had Ali taking 7. I had him taking 9, and I had him taking 11. That there was a good stretch for him in those rounds there, but I'm certain out of the last 4 rounds, I had Norton taking 3 of them at 1 even. This fight, to me, wasn't even, you could say the first fight was kind of lackluster. When watching the 3 fights, this fight, to me, was clearly in Norton's favor of all of the 3.
And, you know what? If you look at Ali's reaction after that third fight, I don't think he thought he won the fight. He had his head down.
He said that. That's right. They said they came up into the corner. Ali's. It was very quiet. He said. Well, I forgot who was doing that fight, but very quiet. And it's almost like when they announced it, he got spruced up.
But then he left the ring. Up. I don't think he even did an interview after the fight. He left the ring immediately.
No, he did. And he didn't, I don't know. It was very bizarre. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is go on and read the comments. I was reading the comments under the video. People think that Ali won that fight. No. I'm sorry. I don't think he did.
I don't.
I just don't.
A lot of people at the time thought Norton got robbed, and I think the announcer, one of the announcers, the ring announcer, somebody at the end of the fight said, this is a black eye for boxing. He thought this is.
Well, it wasn't the first or last. But no, he looked Norton looked really good. By the way, both of these guys were at their heaviest. Norton came in at 217. That's 12 pounds over the last fight. And Ali came in at 221, about the same as he was for the first fight.
They were getting older. They were getting up in age, both of them. They weren't...
I'll say it again, Mark. When Ali got on his toes, he would dance. That almost scored points for him, kind of, in a way. You can hear it in the announcer saying, "Oh, he's on his toes now. He's using the whole ring, and he's not even throwing. He's not even throwing any punches. Really,
it was very hard. It was hard to hit him when he was doing that. You couldn't land a punch.
Yeah,
because he would dance.
Yeah, he couldn't cut off the ring either. Norton, when he was doing that.
That was
if
just
you noticed.
A purely defensive move to avoid getting hit. You couldn't hit him when he was doing that, and he would pull it. And then when you would throw a punch, he had that quick reaction. Ali had that quick reaction where he would pull his head back. He could see the punch coming before you even throw it. It seemed like he could see the punch coming before you even threw it. He had such quick reaction. He would pull his head back and make you miss.
Yeah. After watching those three fights, okay, you look back at them, and you go back to the first fight where they were kind of almost dismissing Norton, saying he's a very good left hook, Cosell was saying. He almost completely dismissed. Yet his best weapon, I thought, in all those three fights, was the overhand right. He was coming in with it, and he was hitting him with it. It was effective. And yet Cosell was dismissing it. He said, and go back and watch the beginning of that first fight, and he's saying his right. He barely uses the right, or something like that. I'm thinking to myself, barely uses it. It's his best punch.
Consistently. Yeah.
Yep. It was good to watch those three fights because, like I said before, it's easy to compare those three fights to the three Joe Frazier fights because it's the only two guys he fought three times. But the thing about it is I say it again, Joe Frazier was just a matter of if Ali was going to be able to, hold up to the pounding. He had Joe Frazier. There was not much to figure out. The guy was right in front of you. Norton was to me, after those three fights, he never figured Kenny Norton out, ever.
He did not. And I don't...
He may have been the toughest. He may have been the toughest guy that Ali ever fought to figure out.
Unorthodox style. He didn't know what to do with. He didn't know what to do with Norton. Now after that fight, no, go ahead.
Though go ahead, Mark. Although Ali, I watched an interview with him last night. He said that even George Foreman in the mix, Ernie Savers hit him the hardest. He was the hardest puncher.
I think that fight was live. It was on TV. Live. Oh boy.
It was.
He
and
I agree with I don't know comparable to I thought Shaver's punch, the blows that he landed on Ali in that fight, I think were comparable to Frazier. He was hitting him with bombs. Oh, I thought for sure Ali was going down. There was quite a few times where you could see he was hurt. Ali was hurt. But oh man.
Yeah, we could do something on that in a day, but that people say that fight, either, I don't know if it was talking before or after, they were saying that fight was the first signs of Ali showing that he had something was not right with him. There was a lot of talk about that,
The only reason he won, well, besides the fact, I mean, there's no denying that Ali could take a punch. Oh, he was unloading.
Oh.
He was just unloading on Ali, hitting him with bombs, and he wouldn't go down. But what really won that fight for Ali is Shavers had a history of this too, that he would get tired at the end of the fight. He would get worn out. He had nothing left. By the end of, I think maybe it was the 14th round. I think it ended on a TKO. Ali won because Shavers had nothing left. He had nothing left. He was completely exhausted. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he talked about that. I watched that. Like I said, he made those two appearances on Johnny Carson. The second appearance, we talked about that before he went on. I just wanted to bring it up. He comes out and he's talking about UFOs. I don't know if you remember the song. Listen to me. He catches Johnny Carson complete. He comes out and he's very calm, if you notice. And he sits down calmly and he goes, there's a lot of UFOs around. He goes, I see him. He's saying that he sees them. And Carson was like, thinking to himself, and he said, very good insight for the fight or something. Anyway, after about 5 minutes of him going on about it, and Ken Norton, if you notice, he's just sitting there, no expression the whole time. If you look at him, and they had like a simulated. Well, it was a real weigh-in. They got on a scale. They walked over to the scale, and they weighed in. And Ali came out in a robe and flip flops, and I think Kenny Norton had like sweatpants on underneath, but he took them off for the weigh-in. But they were very cordial to each other, if you noticed. Ali had nothing but good things to say about him, and Norton was, it was pretty good. I got a clip here, Mark. I think I'm going to play it. I think we may be able to hear it. It's Ken Norton later in life. He was paralyzed, He had a very bad car accident. He drove off the highway, and he talks about it. I think he gives the year. I think he says in 1986. He drove off of the highway and he took a 40-foot drop. And he was paralyzed. He couldn't walk. He couldn't talk. And then he credits Muhammad Ali for saving his life, basically, because those fights earned him a lot of money. Was what he doesn't talk about the money. He doesn't mention the money in this. It's kind of hard to hear. There's a little music playing in the background, but I think it'll be picked up fairly easily by the
only thing I want to add to that
camera.
Dave, is some people get the, like you said, after the accident. Some people that don't know about the accident, they get the impression, another punch-drunk fighter, because his speech was not that good anymore after the. So a lot of people say, another punch-drunk fighter. He can't hardly speak. But it had nothing to do with it. It was because of the accident that affected his speech.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yes.
It was bad, Mark, the accident. And I'll play it here. I had it queued up. It's him talking. I don't know who he's talking to, but he's very slow. You'll hear him, and he's talking about. He described.
I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
So he's basically saying, he pretty much saved his career, his life. He mentions it. You heard it.
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I could hear it I could hear it in my thing, but I think
hopefully.
I think they'll be able to hear it on the. So. Arnie will be able to hear it, but it was. I forgot about that accident. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even really remember it.
After the fight at Yankee Stadium, he fought Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young's the guy that beat Foreman, right? Yeah. Jimmy Young beat Foreman. And that was they say that was kind of a controversial decision too. Norton won. He beat Jimmy Young on a decision. And then after that, he fought, I think he won the title because Ali had retired. So he gave up the title. And then there was another one of those like tournaments to see who was going to get the belt. And I think it came down to Jimmy Young and Ken Norton. And Ken Norton won, so he had the title for a short period of time. and then he lost it. He lost the title to Larry Holmes. And that was a great fight.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Young surprisingly beat somebody.
Foreman. He beat Foreman.
Yes, exactly.
And he gave Ali a tough time.
I don't know how the hell that. Yeah, I think that was after Foreman lost to Ali. I think maybe his psyche was not as damaged at that
that's
point.
What he said.
Something was going on there.
His psyche was damaged after the Ali fight. But then Norton fought Larry Holmes, a really great fight, split decision. And years later, Larry Holmes said that was the toughest fight of his career, his fight against Norton. Said it was the toughest fight of his career. It was a really good fight.
Yeah, listen. There was a clip with Ali. It was one of those shorts, and he said Ken Norton gave him a hard time. He was a better boxer than George Foreman.
Right.
He had better footwork. He had better footwork than Foreman. He said, and he was much more difficult to fight. He didn't come out and say he was the toughest fight that he fought against or anything else, but he said he was very, very more well balanced fighter than Foreman.
Yep.
There was the fights were entertaining. They weren't to the extent of the Frazier Ali fights, only because this is just the way it was. You know what I mean? Those fights were class. Even the second fight, which was kind of not very pedestrian like second Ali Frazier fight, but he was doing a lot of holding. In fact, he was still doing it. He got warned in this fight, the one at Yankee Stadium. He said, "Stop taking it. I'm not warning you again." He said to him, "Did you see that?" Yeah. He says, "I'm going to warn you for the last time." He goes, "Stop holding." He was grabbing the back of Norton's head.
Yeah, he was a good referee.
Yes.
Yeah. He was strict.
He was very.
Yep.
He was very good.
That kind of stuff. Yep.
Well, I think the same guy, though. I think the guy Dick Young did the first two Norton Ali fights. I think he was the same ref. I'm not 100% sure. I know he did one because they were talking about what a great referee he was in one of the fights. Yeah, it was a good. I don't have any boxing stuff hanging around, Mark. Really, well, I do have this magnet. I picked it up years ago. I don't know where I got it, but I keep it on my refrigerator. Where they had a closed circuit television at the Hartford Civic Center here in Connecticut. It was the Ali Frazier 2. You know, they called it the Super Fight 2, but it really didn't turn out. But it went the distance. Frazier lost, and I think was it a split decision or no?
I think it was unanimous.
Or was it
but
unanimous?
It was close. You know, they judged it close, but I think all three gave it to Ali. But
it was, it is what it is, but that was good to watch those three fights. That was a part of, like I said, I was 14, I was 15, 17, on the last fight. I remember the last fight at Yankee Stadium a little more than the other two for some reason. Maybe because they had already fought twice. It was maybe kind of looking forward to it.
Highly publicized, and the fact that it was at Yankee Stadium, and it was much more talked about. Yep.
The fight, the heavyweight division today, Mark, is not. I mean. They had a heavyweight fight not too long ago where that guy from Ireland or Scotland, what's his name? The white guy.
I haven't.
He's tall.
I haven't followed
I can't think of his name. He's got a bizarre fighting style. He was the champion. He got beat. And you didn't even hear like a lot of stuff about. But heavyweight fights were when we were growing up. They were a big thing.
Yeah, they were.
Remember that or no?
Yeah, I do.
Remember how big it was or no?
It was highly publicized. And that's another sport, probably at least, I probably haven't watched in at least 25. After Holyfield, I liked Holyfield. Foreman was still on his comeback trail. Foreman was still fighting in the 90s. Holyfield, Tyson, there was still some good heavyweights. But I think after Holyfield retired, I pretty much lost interest in it.
Yeah, did you watch Mike Tyson? Did you follow him or no?
And then, he dominated until, he made some bad decisions, obviously. He really went, after Customato died. After Customato, who was like a father to him, after he died, Tyson went off the rails, He got hooked up with Don King and started, he got advice from the wrong people, and it was his downfall.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. He had the problem with that woman. Who knows how, I don't know what that, listen, after being in, doing the job that I had for a long time, you realize that sometimes things aren't what people really think they are, believe me. And so anyway, he did go to prison for that. And he was not a dumb guy. He was a smart guy, Mike Tyson, if you hear him talk. You know what I mean? He's not, but once he lost he had like an aura of invincibility.
Yeah, it was over.
And once he lost it, that was it. After his first loss, after that Douglas fight.
Oh, yeah.
That was it for him. I believe that.
He knew he wasn't invincible anymore. Yep.
No. The guy I was trying to think of before was Tyson Fury, his name is. He's Irish. Oh. He comes out with the Irish big guy. He's got a big Irish entourage, but he got beat by a guy named his last name is Usyk. He's got to be a Russian or I don't know what he is exactly. He's from one of those countries. He beat this guy, but this guy Fury, pretty real tall guy, he's kind of bizarre. His movements are very bizarre, and I watched some of his fights, but nothing like the heavyweight fights that we watched when we were growing up. Nothing like those. Epic. I remember the Ali. I think it was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He looked terrible when he lost to was it Ernie Holmes? Ernie Holmes. Larry Holmes. I don't think he ever fought Ernie Holmes, but no. Was that his last fight, Mark, or no?
Bobick, Dwayne. What the heck was his name? Not Dwayne Bob.
It was Dwayne Bobick.
Sure that was the name. He fought again. And terrible ending. Just awful.
It was that was his last fight, Mark.
I can't remember. Was it Dwayne Bob? The guy was from he was from another country.
I'll see what it is here, but
he wasn't really, he wasn't that big. Wasn't a big name fighter really. He was okay. He was.
His last fight, his last fight was Trevor Berbick. Trevor.
Yeah.
Yep. He did fight Bobick. He did fight him earlier. But his last two fights were he had his last four fights were Spinks twice, Larry Holmes, and Trevor Berbick.
Trevor Berbick.
Well, exactly. He lost three of them. That first loss to Leon Spinks was shocking, I think. No. Nobody thought that guy was going to win that fight.
He was done, he was washed up at that point. He was washed up. It was time to retire. But like a lot of boxers, he hung on too long and
yes, it was that's correct. He He didn't fight. I take that back. He didn't fight. That was Norton that fought Dwayne Bobbitt. It was not Ali. But right before that, those last 4 fights, the one right before that was Ernie Shavers.
Yeah,
that fight. Yeah, that fight. Believe it or not, that went 15 rounds.
I think it was stopped in the 15th round because as Shavers, like I said, Shavers had nothing left.
Yes.
He was just laying on the ropes, and Ali was pounding on him. Forgot what I was going to say.
I'm surprised he was able to go. He was able to go that far with him, Mark.
Norton's another one that hung on too long. His final fight was against Jerry Cooney. I think Norton was 38, almost 39 years old. He was washed up, he was done, and he took another fight with Jerry Cooney, and I think that was a first-round knockout too.
Yeah, no, it was looking at Ali's last fights. I'm looking at him now. He was in the very end. By the end of he was 39.
Yeah,
he was actually almost 40. You know what I mean? He was almost 40 years old. He was maybe 2 months shy of 40, I think.
The reasons. I don't even want to get into. Don't even want to get into the reasons why he was still fighting anymore. But I think a lot of people took advantage of him and took money from him, and bad ending. So many boxers. Larry Holmes fought when he shouldn't have been fighting anymore. He fought Tyson. I think he fought Tyson, right, and got knocked out. Yeah, too many boxers.
Yes. He fought Ron Lyle too, Ali. He was a tough guy that went 11 rounds, I think, out of the 15. That was in 1975. So it was before the last Norton fight. But like I mentioned that before, it was in between the second and third fight. But he, you look at these guys, like you said, they hang on too long. There's a clip. I'm going to send it to you. It's a black and white clip. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's Ali comes walking out and he's talking to somebody, and he's saying, "I don't know, why are you talking like that?" He says, "You can't see who the announcer is." And seating, I think, also on the set was Joe Louis, and he goes, "Joe, would you be able to beat him?" And Joe Louis says, "Well, did you ever see this clip?" And Joe Louis said, "I had a thing called the Bum of the Month Club." And Ali goes, "I was a bum?" He says, "I'm going to send it to you. I never saw it before. I just watched it last night. It's unbelievable." You know what I mean? I don't know if Joe Louis was kind of just making light of it, or if he was. He looks like he's serious.
I
don't know.
Send it to me. Yeah,
I'll send it to you. It was very entertaining. But that's it, Mark.
Wrapped it up. Okay. So
yeah, that was good.
You get that guy.
That was good.
That guy you said wanted to. Have you? We can get him. Or you want to get the other guy that wanted to come on? He was the Giants. He was talking about. Yeah, if you want to get a hold of him, we can do that too. He said he's just wrapping up. I think he's writing a big article about it, and he's just wrapping up the article, and then he's going to contact me. So I'm not sure when that's going to happen.
I'd like to hear what he's got to say. Just send him a little. Say, look, anytime you want to come on, we're ready. See what he says. That's all.
Yeah.
But I'd like to hear about that. I'll even go back and I'll even go back and see if I got those tickets. I'll try to find those tickets I had to that game.
Yeah,
I went to a couple of games there.
I think maybe. I don't know. It was so many years ago. I think maybe there was one time I went to the Yale Bowl, but it was probably for a college game. I know it wasn't NFL. It It was probably for a college game. And
Yeah.
the one thing I always kind of bothered me was I never got to see the Giants play at Yankee Stadium. I never got to see them play at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Did you?
If you see,
No.
yeah, no, I didn't.
No, I was.
I didn't.
They moved out of
Yeah.
there. I think their last season there was 1973. So I was only 11. So I mean, unless somebody was going to drag me there, I had no way to get. I wasn't going to Yankee Stadium without someone to drive me. So I would have liked to have.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a pretty unique experience to see the Giants play at Yankee Stadium because they played there for quite a few years. I think, late 50s.
No, they did. I think my father spoke about going to some games there, but my father, we couldn't get him to. Now I know why, though. You know what I mean? Now, being, the age I am now, in my 60s, I realized that, you know what? I get it. I kind of get it. We did drag him to a game in 1995, the Cowboys opening night game where Emmitt Smith had the long run, and they came out and they honored Phil Simms, and he threw a pass to Lawrence Taylor, who was supposedly completely inebriated that night. But anyway, we did drag him to that game. He went, and that was the last game he ever went to. But I kind of wondered, he couldn't believe when we pulled into the parking lot what was going on.
Right.
He had never seen tailgating like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's an experience. It's an experience.
Me and my brother, we did drag him to that last game, so it was pretty good.
I went to quite a few games at Giant Stadium, but never got to see. I got to see the Yankees at the original Yankee Stadium, but I never got to see the Giants play there. I would have liked to have seen the Giants play there, but it never happened.
Yeah, I gotta ask you, Mark. Have you seen? You must have seen it by now, but I just clicked on it the other day. I think it was opening game. The Cowboys played the Vikings in Minnesota. Pat Summerall was doing it with Tom Brookshire. 1977. Opening day. I found it. It's very crisp. I'll send it to you.
Did that game go on overtime?
Tony Dorsett's first game. I'm not sure. I only watched the first half so far, but they're talking about, it's wonderful to see these fans not all bundled up. Actually, it's hot here today. They were saying it was 70-something degrees. And Tony Dorsett's first carry, and he gets tackled by Jim Marshall. Okay, for pretty much no gain. And I think it's 7-3 at halftime. It's either 7-3 or 7-6. I'm not sure. I'm gonna watch the second half probably this weekend. But I'm saying to myself, I wonder if Mark ever saw, because it's a great.
Right.
The footage is
they
great.
They have that guy. I forget his name, but he cleans up all these old films, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know who that is, and this I think is another guy who also has a lot of old films, and not just football. There's a couple of guys I actually subscribe to their channels. If I could pull them up, I think I could pull them up. My subscriptions. One guy is Virgil Moody. Is that the guy you're thinking of?
No.
He's the guy. The other guy, I know what you're talking about. This guy is the guy that had the one that I'm watching. He was one of the first guys I started following, but then the other guy, I think, took him over. I can't think of who that other guy is. I got to subscribe. I must have had him, but my brother put he put that Windows 11 onto my computer, and it kind of got rid of some of the stuff I had. But I know the guy you're talking about. He cleans them up nice. They're crisp. Yep. I'll look him up, that guy. But this guy, Virgil Moody, he stayed in my subscriptions, and I'm looking at his videos now.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of hockey, and he's got some old football stuff. He's got some bizarre football stuff here's a Seattle-Denver game. Here's a Raiders-Denver. Here's Dallas-Detroit, 1977. 10/30/77. So that was the end of November. I'm sorry. It was the end of October. He's got Baltimore, Detroit, 19. He's got a lot of stuff from 77. I noticed. I wonder if he was working. You don't know what these guys were doing for.
Yeah.
They might have been connected somehow. Where they were able to get these games.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of hockey. He's got an 85 49er 1985 Denver against San Francisco. 11-10-85. But he's got a lot of good stuff. And I clicked on that Minnesota game. I'll send it to you.
I think I might have seen it, but
they're talking about what great shape Jethro Pugh is in. I think that was his last season, right?
I think he played in the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh. I think 78.
Pittsburgh?
78
was
his final season.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying, he's in the best shape he's been in 4 or 5 years, they were saying. I guess he had some nagging injuries or whatever, but they said that the Cowboys had a really, really tough training camp that year. And they were saying that the guys were in tremendous shape.
That was,
I
was just watching.
I
was watching something.
I don't know if you ever heard that.
It might have been 77. And the guy who was, what was his name? The guy with the voice, the golden voice. He did the NFL film. John Facenda. John Facenda.
Oh, yes.
He said, there are no fat Dallas Cowboys. With that voice.
Yeah. I forgot what clip. Yes.
Right.
I forgot what clip that was in.
There are no.
But there was some. Listen, you look at the side. I love Metropolitan Stadium, and there was something so archaic about it that, they had like a rolled up. They had like a rolled up tarp at the end of the field, and Summerall kept talking about some gravel. There was gravel in the end zone. Billy Joe Dupree went up for a position. He came down, and they said, he fell around this gravel.
Yeah.
They kept bringing it up. It was so,
I love
it was
those
so primitive,
stadiums.
you know what I mean?
The other one, the Colts played, the one the Colts played
that was,
in. Yeah.
Municipal
Memorial
Stadium, yes.
I think I was. Yeah. That was
Memorial,
great.
I'm sorry, yes.
That was a great stadium.
Listen, that was some. They did a whole feature on that. I'll send it to you. And what was the guy in the front? He played with John Dutton.
Yep.
I think it was Joe Ehrman.
He was defensive end.
I think that was his name. Yeah, they interview him in this clip, and he's actually with his kids. You ever see that? He's walking around with his son.
Yeah.
I think his 2 sons. I'm going to send it to you. It's all about Memorial Stadium. They were knocking it down, I think, at the time.
Those old stadiums.
That's a great that always stuck out in my mind. That clip. You almost think like he's going to start crying. The guy. Yeah. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I love the.
It's
old
great
stadium.
stuff.
Okay.
All right, Mark. Let me. I think we got it all in the tank here. It says that it's all. It said that it's. But mine says 99% uploaded. So usually when I get that, I think it's all uploaded.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have any problems. I'll talk to you later, but I'll send you those clips, Mark. All right.
You too. God bless. Thanks. That will conclude our podcast on Kenny Norton. We hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.